Hi everyone, today we're going to talk about Unit 2, which is all about functions and linear equations and stuff like that. It's kind of a hodgepodge of everything. So today we're just going to be talking about functions versus relations. So let's go ahead and get started. We got some vocab and a little bit of a review for you. A coordinate plane, also known as Cartesian, that's the formal name for it, is a two-dimensional plane formed by the intersection of a horizontal number line and a vertical number line. The x-axis is the horizontal number line, and the y-axis is the vertical number line. The origin is where the x and y axis cross, okay? And that ordered pair is 0, 0. Here is a coordinate plane, okay? And we're just going to label the different parts. So, I forgot to switch this around. This whole thing is called a coordinate plane. So we can check, as we go through and label things, we're going to check them off our list. Okay? So, first, where's my stuff? Oh, goodness, everything's happening. Oh, everything's disappeared. Alright, so, you're going to have to... Alright, we're going to do this together then. So, as you can see, we have the axes, and they split the coordinate plane into 4 different parts. These are called quadrants, and they are labeled as such. So, quadrant 1, don't write anything yet. I gotta move it to the right place. Quadrant 1 is this section right here. Ooh, there we go. It's not the best label, but it's there. Quadrant 2 is right here. So it kind of makes a C shape when you write them all out. This is quadrant 3. Ooh, typing onto the things I don't need to. We got quadrant 3 right here. And you can go ahead and label it. And this one is quadrant 4. Okay? So the 4 quadrants are the 4 sections of the graph. The x-axis is right here. So I'm going to write x-axis. That is the horizontal number line, so this guy right here. The y-axis is, I'm going to move some stuff around so I can have room for it. Yep. And I'll put you right here. Sorry guys. All the stuff that was on here disappeared, which is probably not a good sign for what's to come. So we will deal. Y-axis is actually the axis that goes up and down. It's our vertical axis. So I'm going to change that to be vertical. And that's this guy. This is the y-axis. And then the origin is the cross section right here. So this right here is our origin. Put you right there. And I'm going to color it in so I know that that's the origin. And I'm just going to write origin in red. You guys get to see the inner workings of how I do this. Okay, and all of this together makes up our coordinate plane. All of that together is our coordinate plane. Okay, so as you get them labeled, go ahead and check them off, and then we'll move on to the next slide. Alright, we're going to review some stuff with points. We're going to use this graph to answer the following questions on the page, okay? So I'm going to have to slide back and forth, but you guys can see the whole page. Alright? So example 1, I didn't get rid of that. Oh well. We're going to write the coordinates for each point that is marked on the graph. So point A is right here. We always are going to write it as in 2 numbers in a set of parentheses. Okay, separated by a comma. The first number we're going to write is our x value. So we look on the number line here to see which little like grid line that point is on. So here, this one is on the -4 for the x value. So that's why we write -4 first. Then the next number is your y. So you look at your y coordinate So because it's right here, the y value is between 1 and -1. That's 0. So we go ahead and write 0. We do the same thing for b. B is right here, so I'm going to start with the x. So because it's on this line, I'm just going to go down. Oh, the x value is -2. Write that first. Then I do the y next, so I go to the left, or to the right. The y value is 2. Write that down. Okay? And then you guys are going to do C, D, and E on your own. Now, for example 2, we're going to mark the following points on the grid. So the first one is -3. So I'm going to go up to the graph. 2, -3. I'm going to start off at 2 on the x. So x is 2, but y is -3. The intersection of those two numbers, so here's where x is 2, here's where y is -3. The intersection is right here, so that's where my point goes. And I label it as F. The next one is -4, 4. So x is -4 right here. Y is 4 way up here. So the intersection is right here. And I labeled that one G. Okay, the last one is 0, 2. So where x is 0 is right here at the origin. And where y is 2 is up here. So the intersection of those two lines is right here. And that's what I'm going to label H. Okay? Then you guys are going to try I, J, and K. Plot those points and see how you do. Okay, so some new vocab, maybe review a little bit still. A relation is relation is a set of ordered pairs. So anytime we have a group of ordered pairs, that creates a relation. A function is a special type of relation where every x is paired with only one y. Okay? In a function, x values cannot repeat. That's basically what it's saying. We can't match an x with a 3 and a 4. It can only be matched with 1 to be a function. Okay? So that's what we're going to do here. Example 3, is the following relation a function? Why or why not? So when we're talking about is it a function or not, we're really just looking at the x values and checking to see if they repeat. So here, I'm going to look at this set of ordered pairs. I have an x value of 2, an x value of 3, and an x value of 5. The x's aren't repeating, and each one is only matched with one number. It's okay if the y's repeat. That is totally fine. But the x's don't repeat, so that means it is a function because all the x values are different. No x values repeat. There's lots of different ways you can explain why or why not. Okay? And now you guys are going to try this one on your own. If you're given a table, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to focus on the x values and see if they repeat. So here are the x values. I have a 3, a 4, a 6, and a -4. Those are all different. It's okay that I have a 4 and a -4. Those are two very different numbers. So, again, it is a function. All the x values are different. None of the x values repeat. You guys try it on your own. Example 5, this is called, I don't know where it went. This is called mapping, like a mapping diagram. What it is in this first bubble, sorry, my dog is chewing on a bone right next to the microphone. So this first bubble are the x values, the second bubble is the y values, and the arrows tell you how they match up. Okay? So to determine if it's a function, I'm going to look at the x values. 5 is only matched with 1. 7 is only matched with 3, but 6, it's matched with both 0 and 2. So because it's got two arrows coming out of it, if I wrote these as ordered pairs, I'd have two ordered pairs that have an x value of 6. So this is an example that it's not a function because the x value of 6 is mapped or paired with two different y values. Okay? Now you guys are going to try this one on your own. Example 6 gives you ordered pairs. It wants you to make a table. Go ahead and make the table. So we just take the x values and we put them in the x row. And we take the y values they're matched with and we put them underneath. So they have to match up the same way the ordered pairs do. So here I have 2 and 3. 0 and 1, 3 and 5, -2 and 8. Now, if I needed to, what's another ordered pair that I can add to this that would remain a function? So right now it's a function because none of the x values repeat. If I needed to add another ordered pair off to the side here, and I still wanted it to be a function, I need to pick an ordered pair that wouldn't match any of these x values already. So there's lots of different numbers. I could pick 1, 5. I could pick -3, 5. There's so many. As long as I don't pick something that has a 2, 0, 3, or -2 as an x value, it would work. Okay? For B, what if I wanted another pair that would make it not a function anymore? So if I didn't want this to be a function anymore, what's another ordered pair I can add to the end where it wouldn't work? Well, to be not a function means the x's need to repeat. So as long as you pick an ordered pair that either has 2, 0, 3, or -2 as its x value, it would no longer be a function. So here I picked 2, 4 because the 2 is now mapped to 3 and to 4. So that would make it not a function. Okay? And you guys are going to try this one on your own. Okay? Give these ordered pairs a try. Alright, the last thing is telling if it's a function or not based off of a graph. And to do that, we use the vertical line test. The vertical line test says if a vertical line touches a graph in two or more places, then the graph is not a function. Okay? So for it to be a function, we draw a vertical line through it and it only crosses it once. So here's an example, or two, I'll show you. So if I draw a vertical line, and it shouldn't matter where I draw a vertical line. If you need to, you can draw multiple vertical lines to test it out in multiple places. But if it crosses in more than one on any vertical line, it's not a function. I can't remember where I drew my vertical line. Ah, here it is. So here I draw my vertical line. It's crossing right here. Okay? And nowhere else. So because it only crossed once, this is a function. It passed the vertical line test. Okay? Here, I'm going to do the exact same thing. I can't remember where I drew my vertical line. That's what always happens to me when I do this. Aha. Okay, drew my vertical line. I'm touching the circle here and down here. So this is not passing the vertical line test because I'm crossing it in two different locations. What that means is that those 2 points there both have the same x value. That's why we use the vertical line test. So this one fails the vertical line test, and it's not a function. You guys are going to try these last 3 on your own. You can just go ahead and draw your vertical line. With this one, because they're just a bunch of dots, I strongly suggest drawing a vertical line through each one. Just triple, quadruple check to make sure every location doesn't pass or does pass the vertical line test. Okay? If you guys have any questions, please write them down, and we will go over them next class. Okay? Bye.